Dun dun dun, it's Mercury Retrograde once again. I know you hear this quite a lot in a year because it happens multiple times, and this time is in Sagittarius. I decided to give you guys this one slightly earlier than usual. Why? Because you might need to plan ahead. We all know that Mercury retrograde is seemingly that the planets are moving backwards, and therefore there may be some things that revisit your past and bring out some, I mean, if it's good things then great, but sometimes it brings out some negative things that maybe you thought was buried under the carpet and suddenly comes to the surface again to trigger some problems, and that's not what we want. That's not why we're here. We're here all for positivity, love, and to make a difference in this world, and we would rather manifest what we want in life rather than manifesting what we don't want in life. And that's why in this video, I've actually took plenty of notes here for you guys, and you can tell when I'm being deadly serious about the topic is when I've got many pieces of paper. I've got 7 points when I'm looking at the planetary alignments and when I'm looking at numerology and astrology and how this Mercury retrograde is going to unfold for you. These are the things. Get yourself a pen, get yourself a piece of paper, and start taking notes. We're going to dive deep into it, but before we get into it, show reel. Hit it. Namaste everyone, Namo Himalaya. This is Sri Akarshana here. And in this video, we're going to break down for you the 7 things you got to look out for when it comes to this particular Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, okay? The first thing, please note down the dates, okay? Number 1, it's moving from the 26th to the 16th of December. So the 26th of November to the 16th of December. Now, because it's in Sagittarius, it's kind of bringing us into this holiday season, yet at the same time to be cautious with particular things. What is it going to impact us on? Please do take note of this. It's going to impact our travel. Right? We always say this every time Mercury retrograde happens. There's kind of a glitch in the system where things get delayed, planes get delayed, whatever happens, you know. So we need to adjust for time. But it will allow us to receive more downloads, intuition for some wisdom, and allow us this transformation period, especially when we put the numerology in place as well. We all know that this time is the time for a quantum shift because these are in the 4 months of the high-speed rail I've been talking about for 6 months now. So everything's moving extremely fast-paced, emotions are high, intelligence is low, energy is in motion, manifestations will happen, all of that cool stuff. So the first thing I want you guys to note down is the dates, November the 26th to December the 16th. The second point, okay, is understanding travel synchronicities. So we always say this every single Mercury retrograde, and without fail, people always come here to comment and say, yes, it happened to me. Flights may be delayed, bus delayed, plane delayed, what delayed? Like, there'll be delays. You'll be stuck in traffic jam where in situations where there isn't usually a jam. I want you guys to put something in your mind and put something on the paper right now. Everything in divine timing. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Everything in divine timing. Now, that does not mean that if you're late to meetings and you're late to things, it doesn't mean it's supposed to be late. No. My question to you is, on the other side of the spectrum, did you prepare? Were you fully prepared? You still need to be in preparation, meaning that any meetings you have, especially if it's like important investors meeting, business meeting, anything that is really important to you, maybe a meeting with your future life partner, right? Your soulmate, then please arrange 30 minutes before to arrive. Please arrange an hour before to arrive. It's better to be early than to be late. If you're late, then you're late to the opportunity. But in having the preparation, let's say, for example, you arrange yourself to be 1 hour before or 30 minutes before every meeting, every gathering, everything you're going to. If there is still a delay or still something that changes the course that you're supposed to go on, come to acceptance. Because with preparation, everything in divine timing. I'm going to say that again. With preparation, everything in divine timing. Right? So don't make excuses just because you were actually late. You're making an excuse that it's Mercury retrograde. No. Okay? In preparation, trust that everything is still in divine timing. If you still don't make certain things, it's not supposed to be. I always say the universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need. You know what you want, but sometimes we don't know what we need. And that's why the universe is co-creating with us. Okay, so that's the first thing. Please trust the detours, but at the same time, be in preparation. Okay? The next thing that actually moves with this particular planetary alignment is some ancestral whispers. So what does this mean? We're going to receive certain messages, certain downloads during this time, and most likely it's going to happen through dream, by the way. It's a big dream portal is opening up during this period too, at the same time, which coincides with this Mercury retrograde. And because, why is it ancestral? Because whenever a retrograde happens, it's seemingly moving backwards. So it's moving backwards in time. It's bringing stuff from our past lives, our last generations, past generations, and it's bringing things to surface. Now, what will it bring out to surface? Will it just bring out some random stuff? Absolutely not. It's going to bring out some things that are going to show up for you to make a shift. So, here it goes. If you have any dreams that come and you feel some like ancestral stuff, some, I don't know, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great-grandfather, something that back in the olden days that pop up, please keep a dream journal during this period. Because it's highly likely that when you start writing those things down, the occurrences that are happening, let's say you're having a recurring nightmare. By the way, let me know if this is happening for any of you, especially during this period. Nightmares are prone during this time. Right? Now, I don't know if you guys have ever watched that movie. What's that movie called? Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. If you've never watched it before, I recommend you watch it, because in that movie, it shows how you can go in dream dimension, you can change things. There's a big truth to that. And these are a lot of the practices I was doing when I was up in the Himalayan mountains doing my initiation. We can actually change things in dream realities by not being scared of fearful things. So if you have been woken up by a nightmare recently, if you have, let us know inside the comments so other people know they're not alone in this, by the way. If you have, my recommendation for you is to dream journal. Write down what was the last shocking scene you've seen, whether you were being chased or whether there was a strange looking alien, monster, whatever it be, okay? Write that down, draw it out. The next day, purposely go back into the same dream. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth would I do that? That was a nightmare. Because this time you're going to consciously take yourself back in, right? What people refer to as astral traveling, lucid dreaming, whatever. I don't know if you guys are into that type of stuff. If you want to learn how to do that, you can comment below, lucid dreaming, astral traveling, want to learn more. And if there are enough comments, I may make another video on that. And by the way, I just want to have a little break from this a moment. I just want to remind you guys, it was not my choice to actually change this particular channel into all portals, astrology, energy, forecasts, and things like that. YouTube decided to recategorize me and my channel into that category now. So that's why I've actually transferred all my manifestation, law of attraction, success stuff onto my second channel. And that's daily uploads are still happening there. So if you're missing the meditations, manifestation techniques, and all the rest of it, and you're into that type of stuff, make sure, I'll put it in the link in the description, to subscribe to the second channel. You will get all the daily videos as it used to be here. It's now transferred on the second channel. On this main channel now is all to do with astrology, numerology, just helping you dance with the universe and guide you through these times of full moon, new moon, and all the rest of the fancy stuff that happens through the year, okay? So just let you guys know. Now, so if you guys want to learn about astral traveling and stuff, most likely I would create that video for the second channel, okay? And just let us know inside the comments below. So that is a very good time to do that. And when you get back into the dream, let's say you're in a nightmare, what should you do? You should learn to face the fear, look at it, and tell yourself that it's not real. If you can consciously do that in dream, what will happen is the image will fade and disappear. When it does disappear, what will happen when you come back into this particular realm, when you wake up, and you navigate through your everyday life, you're going to find that certain problems and challenges you were facing in this dimension would suddenly clear. It's fascinating. right? This is all the quantum parallel realities that we exist in. They're all intertwined, interlinked. So that's the second point about the ancestral whispers. They're going to bring some things out in the past that is our karmic values that affect our everyday life here, but it's for us to actually clear and cleanse and get rid of once and for all. Now, moving on to the third thing, spiritual downloads. You're going to feel a lot more intuitive during this particular retrograde. You're going to get a lot of ideas. You're going to get intuitive downloads. You're going to feel like, hey, I want to do something and I know it doesn't make any sense. And by the way, that's when it's best. When it don't make sense to you, when it's not logical, when you can't even think, why do I even want to do this? That's when you know you're not thinking it, you're feeling it, you're downloading it. It's a divine intervention. It's a divine message that's supposed to be for you. So, as my friend always says, follow your heart and take action, right? Just keep following what you feel. Don't overthink things and keep moving forward with it. You'll find that a lot of big manifestation doors open during this particular portal, okay? Now, number four. Number four is what? Number four is about divine timing markers, okay? I think that you guys should take some time right now to do what? To get pen on paper to start connecting the dots looking backwards. I think it was Steve Jobs who once said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So if you look backwards at every incident that's been happening to you recently, good or bad, positive or negative, solutions or challenges, you will start to find that these are divine markers that will link up, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Taking all these pieces together, you'll be like, I tried something twice, it didn't work out. Right. Universe is trying to shift me a different area. Hey, I didn't try, but I got a result in different areas. Universe is trying to push me that direction. Use these divine markers to realize that the universe is guiding you all the way. Right? Think of what's been good happening to you, what's been not so good happening to you, what's been favoring, what's been non-favoring, and write them down, these points. You will start realizing that that will give you the map to move forward, especially for those of you feeling a little bit lost right now, a little bit confused. Is this relationship right for me? Is this job right for me? Right? Am I supposed to go in this direction? Is this ready for me? These will give you the answers. Okay? Moving on to point number 5, I think we're on, right? Point number 5 is to do with karmic completions, okay? Now, karmic completions means that we all have karmic cycles. Everything is karma. From this life, past life, last generation, everything is passed on. It's time for completions. If you have any things that you've been holding grudges towards certain parents, grandparents, all the rest of it, time to let it go, right? And the best way to let it go, especially during this portal, is through fire. Okay, now obviously you have to be very careful when you're doing fire practices, right? Don't just be careless with fire because it's fire, right? But if you have a safe environment like a barbecue or something like that, and it's outdoors, and you got a fire there, very good to write down certain things, fears, doubts, grudges, right? Disappointments, things that you've been holding on to from the past, writing it down and throwing it into the fire while watching it transmute, transcend. This is a very good way of letting go and clearing those karmic pasts for new things to move into your life. Now we're on to the final 2, which is kind of what we talk about a lot of the time when it comes to Mercury retrograde. The next one is to do with technology. Okay, point number 6. It's very normal for Wi-Fi disconnections to happen, things to have glitches. We were recording a YouTube podcast today and boom, it just cut off in the middle of it. Camera's not working, phone suddenly breaks down, computer's breaking down. And by the way, please do save this video because during this period, it's good to revisit this video, to listen to it again, just to recap and remind yourself of what to look out for. And again, I'm going to say this, right? Success is where preparation meets opportunity. You got to prepare yourself. If you know that these things are prone to happening, my question to you is, are you going to do the right things to have a backup phone, a backup connection, a backup, especially if you've got some important meetings to go to? Are you going to back your things up? Save your things, right? Extremely, extremely important during that time. The seventh and the final point is what we talk about a lot when it comes to Mercury retrograde. And this is the big one. I've left it for the end because it's about communication. During Mercury retrograde, it's almost like this gray cloud just appears and it stops people from understanding each other, right? So if you know that you usually get misunderstood or usually get triggered by certain people or you usually trigger certain people, maybe try, there's only 3 weeks, right? In these 3 weeks, try to keep a bit more distance. Try to have a bit more your time instead of being in very busy environments with a lot of people around. I know I'm doing quite a few events and shows. I know that during this period, I know that I'm just going to arrive there, do my speech, and I'm going to be out of there because there's too many people, and 100, 1,000, few thousand people in a show, you want to get out of there. Same thing, like if you're downtown in a shopping mall, a lot of people, like my advice would be during these 3 weeks, try to have more quiet, peaceful me time. It's going to save you from a lot of hassle. It's going to save you from triggering a lot of people, whether you know them or don't know them. Sometimes you're just outside and then some stranger suddenly doesn't like the way you walk, talk, or sit or stand or something like that. It happens, I was just at Amsterdam airport and then suddenly this person at the tax refund place just gives that type of attitude. It happens, But we know we always want to try to keep our vibrations as high as possible, as positive as possible, because we don't want to manifest negativity in our life, right? So if we don't want to do that, your number one go-to will be avoid people, right? Avoid negative people. Avoid people that may get triggered. But if we cannot avoid them, then my biggest recommendation for you is think before you speak, right? Proofread before you send a message or an email. Otherwise, it's going to be errors sent by accident. And again, it's things that you could have prevented from happening, and it will spiral. There's always a butterfly effect. But we want to try to minimize these problems. So that's my biggest recommendation with you guys with regards to communication and everything, and these particular 7 things in this Mercury retrograde. Is it a big, horrible one? Well, not really, except that emotions are a little bit higher during this time because we are in the high-speed manifestation rail. 4 months right now. We're in the November to December time. So things happen quite fast. But aside from emotions being high, no, don't worry about it. We're all safe. We're all good. Stay with love. Stay with positivity. Stay solution-focused. Keep looking up, then you can get up. Stay moving towards the light, and I wish you guys all the best navigating through this particular period. Any questions related to any of this, make sure to comment below. If there's common questions, I may make a video just to answer those questions. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, comment below, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And finally, if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's a little bell sign, by the way, because now this channel is making weekly videos to help you navigate through this period. And if you want the daily videos, remember, subscribe to the second channel. I'm going to put the link around this video. On that, love and peace for all of you. Namaste, Namo Himalaya.